he's somebody that had tremendous success for decades in the oil industry. Now, who's heard of the oil derivatives market? I couldn't describe it with a gun to my head. I really couldn't. But I knew that when they talked about money on Fox News and CNN headline news, what did they talk about? Price of oil, oil derivatives, futures and swaps. So I'm like, okay, I know that. So I did a little research, and I found out it's the most heavily traded commodity in the world. It trades in the trillions of dollars. So I thought, wow, that's pretty impressive. I then find out that he had a hand in the creation of that market. And the more I talked to him, the more I realized all he wanted to do was provide the best opportunity for the average person. Who thinks that's pretty genuine? I've never been around someone so successful, so wise, so generous, that has no ego. And to me, that's a special individual. So please do me a favor. Get on your feet and clap until your hands hurt for the CEO and the visionary of North American Power, Mr. Kerry Breitbart.
The primary driving force that is providing support for the renewable, sustainable energy sector is large corporations and government agencies. And I am telling you something, and I know this and you guys know it too. Corporations and government agencies have never been the power of change that's risen to a moral imperative to solve a problem that plagues mankind. It's always individuals. It can only be individuals. And individuals right now are not engaged in this movement. The green movement is alive, but it's not on the tip of people's tongues. It's not something that people have developed any kind of passion for, except in very small pockets. When we sell a 100% green product, or anybody in the United States sells a 100% green product, and it's sold in most states, I think about 25 or 30, if you call your utility and say, I want to buy a 100% green product, what they don't explain to you, but what is absolutely universally true, is your electricity doesn't change. How could it change? I mean, they're not going to, change the wires and pipe just, energy coming from windmills to your house. No, electricity sources, production facilities of electricity, coal, natural gas, hydro, biofuels, wind, solar, all go into what, metaphorically, a big swimming pool. Out of that swimming pool, through the wires, comes whatever that mix is. So, the more renewable energy that exists and goes into that swimming pool, the greener that electricity is. So, since they can't pipe it to your house, what do when you buy green electricity, or when we buy it? They go out into the market and buy what's called a renewable energy credit, also called a renewable energy certificate or a green tag. This is a financial vehicle that has been sanctioned by the United States government to promote the development of renewable energy. Because when a renewable energy producer produces a megawatt of electricity, he gets to sell one of these renewable energy credits, and it makes his project viable. Most of the renewable energy projects in this country would not be developed if it were not for renewable energy credits. So, I don't know if any of you are connecting the dots yet, but all of a sudden it occurred to me that, wait a minute, I can sell electricity in only 7 states, but I can sell 100% green power through renewable energy credits in all 50 states. We support the development of wind energy. We are the Saudi Arabia of wind in this country. There is a consistent breeze that's blown from the beginning of time from the Canadian border to the Gulf of Mexico. Without blighting the environment, we could build enough windmills and generate enough electricity from windmills to power this country 10 times over. It can be done. And it's clean, it's renewable, it's safe. So our product is called American Wind. And because wind is a nationally available product. I would like now to play Whoop. Sit down, sit down, sit down. I'd like to play a short video for you that gives you a little overview and might just touch you a bit and about what we're doing and why we're doing it. Can you play the video, please?
As Americans, we have a crisis. We consume more energy than any other nation on Earth. More than 80% of that energy is produced through the burning of fossil fuels like oil and coal. These unsustainable energy sources are destroying the health of our environment, our economy, and our fellow Americans. We pay almost $1 trillion each year to foreign nations that we cannot rely on, and the true cost of maintaining these foreign energy sources is even greater. Other countries have prospered by embracing renewable energy, while millions of unemployed Americans lay awake at night wondering if they'll be able to support their families. We are falling behind. Without substantial change, our children will inherit a nation that is no longer an economic and political leader in the world. What happens then? But there is hope. There is a renewable energy in which we can invest that's clean, affordable, and made in the USA. A resource that is so abundant that it could power all of America many times over. Wind, America's national resource. By utilizing wind energy, we have the opportunity to slow the destruction of our environment and preserve our nation's beautiful landscape. We can prevent the premature deaths of hundreds of thousands of Americans at home and overseas. We can revitalize our economy and regain our competitiveness and national prominence in the global community. All of this is possible, but we will miss the opportunity if we, as Americans, don't take immediate action to invest in wind and our nation's future. That's why North American Power created American Wind. American Wind allows individuals to invest in our country's most abundant clean energy resource, helping to ensure a healthier and more sustainable America for ourselves and future generations. American Wind can provide our nation with more than just energy independence. If you seize this opportunity by simply sharing this important message with others, you can achieve your own financial independence along the way. Since our nation's founding, we have faced and overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. Even during the darkest times, America has been a beacon of freedom and a leader for positive change throughout the world. Let us shine the light and lead the way once more. It's the American way.
I'm going to tell you something I know from the bottom of my heart. All we have to do, all the people, all of you in this room have to do, all you have to do to make this work is believe in it. That's all you have to do. Believe in it and share it. And we're Now, what we have done that is, I believe, unique is we have connected an economic model with this endeavor. We have figured out how to provide jobs and how to provide opportunity to make those mortgage payments, to make those car payments, and also do something good for the environment, do something good to develop energy independence in this country, give to charitable causes. I mean, we're a one-stop shop for feeling great, you know? I mean, we really are. I mean, and it's not a joke. You know, it's not something insignificant. From the Environmental Protection Agency, we have a number of statistics. They track all of the purchases of renewable energy credits, green power, of all the corporations by corporation and government agencies by government agency. And right now, Intel is the largest corporate buyer of renewable energy in the United States. Now here's the power of what we can do. When we have 220,000 customers approximately, North American Power will be the largest corporate buyer of renewable energy in the United States. When we have 1,600,000 customers, now do you guys think that's impossible? To have 1,600,000 customers? Well, guess what? Here's the power of this room and here's the power of individuals. At that point, our representatives and customers through North American Power will be buying more renewable, safe, clean, sustainable energy than all the corporations and all the government agencies combined. Here's the deal. You know, it's really quite simple. Government agencies can only do so much. The government can only do so much. The great changes in history, let's take segregation. You know, that changed. That actually happened because individuals sitting in their house, you know, feeling powerless, like they can't make a difference, got so angry or so inspired that they got in a car or a train or a bus or plane and they flew to Washington, D.C., and they found themselves standing shoulder to shoulder with 1 million other people who for one moment suspended the idea that they didn't have personal power, and they listened to Martin Luther King's dream, and segregation came to an end. Now, the Vietnam War came to an end the same way, and women's rights came into existence the same way. And if we're going to address this energy crisis in the United States and this job crisis in the United States, it's got to be individuals. And I think we have a plan. I think that we have something that can work. I know that we can do amazing things. I know that we can walk out this door and begin to change the conversation in this country about clean, safe, renewable, sustainable energy.